Hello, Gabriela.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Good. You?
Fine too, thank you.
Good. Emilio. Emilio Villalobos. Good to see you here. Emilio, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
I
Emilio.
can hear you.
Good. Okay, Emilio, this is your first class, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember if I talked to you. I mean, I interviewed you last year, I think, if I'm not wrong, at the end of last year.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah.
We have an interview.
Yes. Could you, I interview many people, so I can't remember I remember your name, but not your.
Really?
What can you tell me?
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, yes. Can you please tell me, I mean, who you are, what you're doing, etc. Please.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Emilio Villalobos. I am 30 years old. My profession is agronomy, and I work as a research assistant at INEA, located in Vicuña, Coquimbo region. I have already met some classmates here, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I would like to improve my English.
Okay, you studied at Universidad Talca, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, my master degree, I studied in Talca University. Yeah.
And where are you from originally?
Originally, I am from Arica.
Okay, so you've been to, I mean, Arica, Vicuña, Talca, Santiago, okay? You've moved around the country quite a lot. How can you compare the three places you've been living in?
Mainly by the geographic aspect. From Arica, this place is under semi-arid conditions. In Maule region, the conditions are there are more green for I don't know. And now in Elqui Valley, where I live now, I could say it's very mystic. I don't know.
Mystic.
Yeah.
Do you have any special preference for one of those places?
Not really. For Arica, because it's my, I don't know what to say. Como mi tierra natal.
In your hometown.
Yeah.
You have beautiful beaches there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Actually, the best ones, in my opinion, of the country. Good.
See.
Welcome to this class, Emilio. Sorry.
Thanks.
Francisca, Pablo, and Gabriela, I didn't say hello. So this is, I mean, I wanted to remember, I mean, now I remember your story. Okay. Well, part of the questions I asked Emilio about the places are related to something we're going to do now that has to do with descriptions. Well, people and places, okay? Pablo, hello. Pablo, you're in Antonio, aren't you? You're in Antumapo now?
I in the phones because the phones are not working well.
Sorry, there is a problem with the sound. It's a little bit distorted. I can see that you are in the field now, aren't you?
Sorry, I can't listen yet.
Yeah. Are you in the field now in Antumapo?
I'm on Antumapu, but now I'm sit on a bench.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm here on this.
So do you
So-
think that you are in the right place to follow the
will be
class?
to the end of the class.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, let's see. If I remember well, last class we read material and we listened to people talking about their neighbors, right? I mean, that is what we did. Let me see. Yeah, we practice with the pictures. I mean, we imagined the type of people living behind the doors. Remember that? Yes, okay. Let's see. Now I would like you to watch a video where people are going to talk about that. And then I would like you to talk about your places. Let's see, well, I don't know, Francisca, where do you live?
I live in Rancagua.
Rancagua city center, Rancagua countryside?
No, in the city center.
City center,
Yes.
okay. What about you, Gabriela?
I live in Santiago.
Okay, can I ask you where? I mean, something more specific?
Santiago Centro is near to Tuesca.
Near Toesca, okay, right. Okay, so it's also city center. Hello, Ignacio. Hello,
Hello, sorry for the delay.
don't worry. Let's see, Pablo, where do you live?
I live on Cajón del Maipo.
Okay, whereabouts in Cajón del Maipo?
I live on the Las Vertientes village.
Okay, how nice. Very nice place.
Pretty
But do you live
place.
in the, do you live in this kind of town or do you live in the countryside?
I live on. I don't say it's the rural.
I cannot hear you well.
Please, could you repeat the question, please?
Do you live in the city center or the center of the town, or do you live in the countryside?
I live on the countryside, on Las Vertientes village. Cajón del Maipo has so many locality places and many villages
Yeah.
along
So-
the
Yes.
road. So I
Uh-huh.
live in one of those. I don't live on the San Jose Maipo town.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any neighbors?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Yeah. That is what I wanted to know. What about you, Ignacio? Where do you live in La Granja, you told me?
Yes, I live in La Granja, Santiago.
Uh-huh.
It's a peripheric site. I live the south of Amerigo Vespucio Sur,
Yeah. Near Antumapo,
near
you said?
near Antumapo.
Yeah. It's before getting to Antumapo.
Sorry?
Before getting to Antumapo, obviously.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, no, it's a stupid question. I mean, it's a comment, it's obvious. Yes, okay, let's see. Do you have many neighbors? Ignacio, can you hear me? Ignacio, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, you have
I
many
hear.
neighbors. Okay. because
But I lost the last sentence.
you didn't hear the last sentence. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see, Emilio, where do you live in? You said you live in Vicuña. I can't hear you, you are muted.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I live in Vicuña, specifically the outside of the town.
Mhm.
No, it's more like a small town, but I live at the outside of the town.
So you don't have any neighbors, do you?
However, I have two neighbors. I
Okay.
live in a no-name road.
You know what? No name road?
Yeah, Camino Peralillo sin número. That is my address.
Okay. But you have neighbors. That
Yeah,
is
two neighbors.
the thing I wanted. Yeah, two. We're very lucky.
Yeah.
Only two. Good. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
sorry. I will ask you now to let me. I will share my screen. Wait a minute. Wait a second, please. Let me see something. Okay, I will ask you to watch a video talking about neighbors. I mean, several people will be interviewed about their neighbors. I tell you that it's not easy to follow it completely. I mean, don't expect to understand it completely because there are different accents. It's people, they stop in the street. So try to get as much as you can, but don't expect to understand everything. Is that right?
Right.
Sorry?
Okay.
Okay, so here we are.
Welcome to Live from London. Today we're in King's Cross talking to people about their neighbours.
Do you know your neighbours? What are they like?
Yes, there's a couple who live next door who are South African, and I know his name, but it's kind of got past the point where I should have asked what or remembered what her name was. And then I have a guy who lives downstairs from me who's a bit of a nosy neighbour who seems to know everything. And again, I should know his name, and he talks to me a lot, but I don't, and we get caught with him quite a lot. I have long discussions about everything in the building, which I'm not that interested in.
No, I don't really know my neighbours. I just know them to see them when I go past them and they're coming and going. So I have no idea really what they're like.
I know most of them, yeah, and they're normally just like elderly couples and a few young people and students, yeah.
Yeah, I live above like a Danish couple, and they seem nice, but generally speaking in London you don't get to know your neighbours that well, which is a bit of a shame. I know more in like countryside and stuff you have more of a relationship with your neighbours, leave keys with them and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, that seems nice. So I'd like to have that in the future.
Would you like to be closer to your neighbours?
No, not really. I think I'm close enough.
I would probably like to be closer to the couple next door, and there's another couple that live opposite that would probably be quite good to be a bit more friendly with. They're quite sociable next door. Probably not so much the guy downstairs, as he wastes my time.
So yeah, it would be nice to be closer to neighbours, but for some reason in London people are moving house every other week. It doesn't really happen as much, which is a shame.
Overall, probably not, but we should all make more effort to get on with and get to know our neighbours, I suppose, but maybe depending on where you live.
Have you ever had a bad experience with your current neighbours or any from the past?
I can't remember a bad experience with previous neighbours, except actually one house in East London where there was parties going on all the time at 4 a.m, and I was a teacher, and I needed a good night's sleep, and they were troublesome.
I've had a very small bad experience where I live. It's a communal area, so sometimes post goes missing and things go missing. So that causes some concern between neighbours.
Not really bad. There was an incident where we thought that the guy downstairs had stolen a delivery of a passport because he'd signed for it and then denied it. But then it actually just turned out that was a massive mistake on my ex-boyfriend's part, and it was just with the post office in Sydney.
Not my current neighbours, but in the past there was quite an elderly couple who never went out, and they always knew when we were walking up and down the stairs, which was really strange.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. How did you like it? How did you like the video? Any opinion? Could
It
you?
was a pretty nice video, and I think the answers of the people was pretty honest.
Yeah.
So, and there were variety of relationships between him and their neighbor, and I am agree with one of those guys who said that really he don't want to be closer to their neighbors, but he thinks it's important things to at least know their names or have a relationship with them.
Okay, good, Paulo. Any other opinion about it? About the video, about the people, about their accents?
I didn't understand all because they speak so much faster than I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, they speak.
Also,
yes.
Also
Emilio?
the accent was very difficult.
Yeah, there are different accents. Yeah, different accents because not all of them are British. There is one that is Australian. The lady in glasses is Australian, so that's another accent. Additionally, as they are stopped in the street, they use a lot of colloquial expressions. So probably that is another, I mean, not probably, certainly that is an extra difficulty, okay? But despite that, let's see, Francisca, how you liked it?
I had connection problems, so
okay.
I didn't see
didn't get
the whole video.
Okay, but the part that you could get any part?
Yes, yes. Yeah. What's the question?
The question is what you think about the interview.
I think it's common opinions, similar here.
Yeah.
Some of them, because as Emilia said, when you, for example, here we also have address without number. When the post service get lost sometimes or have troubles, and the same for noise. I also had in the past I had noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
So that could be a problem if you have to get up early.
Yeah, and you can manage to fall asleep with a noise. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what about you, Ignacio? Could you solve the connection?
Sorry, I lost for 1 minute the connection, and I lost
the video. Yeah. Okay,
sorry.
Don't worry. Let's see. Now I will ask you to download. Here we're going to, wait a minute. Wait, where is it? Okay. If you go to Material Docente, please download a file called Light from London Neighbors. worksheet. That's
Done.
done. Good. Well,
Yeah.
here we have some exercises that I will ask you to answer. It's true or false first, okay? Of course, I will play the video again. But before going to the video, I'm sorry?
I don't know.
Sorry, I cannot get you. Okay. Well, here you have 8 sentences. I will ask you to read the sentences before watching the video for you to decide if they are true or false according to what you get from them. Okay? Have a look at them.
Gemma doesn't know all the
No,
neighbors' names? No?
Yes, I mean, read them for you.
Ah, okay.
Read the sentences for you, I mean, in order to know what they are about. And then we're going to, when you're ready with that, I'm going to play the video again for you to answer if they are true or not. True or false. Okay? Do you get it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then when you're ready, let me know.
I don't understand the second sentence. Paul is on first name terms.
On
What
first
is
name
it?
terms with his neighbors. I mean, he, in Spanish would be like se tutean, se conocen por el nombre de, se llaman por el nombre de pila.
Okay.
Okay? Ready?
I'm ready.
Yes? Everybody?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready to.
Okay, so let me play the video. Oh, come on. Wait. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Live from London. Today we're in King's Cross talking to people about their neighbours.
Do you know your neighbours? What are they like?
Yes, there's a couple who live next door who are South African, and I know his name, but it's kind of got past the point where I should have asked what or remembered what her name was. And then I have a guy who lives downstairs from me who's a bit of a nosy neighbour who seems to know everything. And again, I should know his name, and he talks to me a lot, but I don't. And you get caught with him quite a lot. Have long discussions about everything in the building, which I'm not that interested in.
No, I don't really know my neighbours. I just know them to see them when I go past them and they're coming and going. So I have no idea really what they're like.
I know most of them, yeah, and they're normally just like elderly couples and a few young people and students, yeah.
Yeah, I live above like a Danish couple, and they seem nice, but generally speaking in London you don't get to know your neighbours that well, which is a bit of a shame. I know more in like countryside and stuff you have more of a relationship with your neighbours, leave keys with them and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, that seems nice. So I'd like to have that in the future.
Would you like to be closer to your neighbours?
No, not really. I think I'm close enough.
I would probably like to be closer to the couple next door, and there's another couple that live opposite that would probably be quite good to be a bit more friendly with. They're quite sociable next door. Probably not so much the guy downstairs, as he wastes my time.
So yeah, it would be nice to be closer to neighbours, but for some reason in London people are moving house every other week, it doesn't really happen as much, which is a shame.
Overall, probably not, but we should all make more effort to get on with and get to know our neighbours, I suppose, but maybe depending on where you live.
Have you ever had a bad experience with your current neighbours or any from the past?
I can't remember a bad experience with previous neighbours, except actually one house in East London where there was parties going on all the time at 4 in the morning, and I was a teacher, and I needed a good night's sleep, and they were troublesome.
I've had a very small bad experience where I live. It's a communal area, so sometimes post goes missing and things go missing, so that causes some concern between neighbours.
Not really bad. There was an incident where we thought that the guy downstairs had stolen a delivery of a passport because he'd signed for it and then denied it, but then it actually just turned out that was a massive mistake on my ex-boyfriend's part, and it was just with the post office in Sydney.
Not my current neighbours, but in the past there was quite an elderly couple who never went out, and they always knew when we were walking up and down the stairs, which was really strange.
Okay. Well. Wait. Here. Okay. Let's see the first sentence. Who can answer that? I mean, read it and say if it is true or false.
The first one is true.
Pablo?
True.
Can you please read the sentence first?
Gemma doesn't know all her neighbors' names.
True or false?
True.
Oh, true.
True. It's true. Right. Good. Let's see number 2. Gabriela, please.
Is false. I understood that Paul.
Sorry, can you please read the sentence first and then tell me if it is true or false?
Okay. Paul is on first name terms with his neighbor. I understood that it was Paul because Paul didn't know them. No, his neighbor.
His neighbors. I mean, not that well. I mean, to know their names. Right. Yeah. Good. Let's see number 3. Emilio, please.
Rachel knows the majority of her neighbors. Truth.
True. Right. True. Right. Let's see Francisca, please, number 4.
Edwin often leaves his keys with his neighbors. It's false.
False. Very good. Let's see number 5. Pablo, please.
The fifth one?
Yeah, the 5th one.
Yeah. Gemma wants to get known her downstairs neighbors better. And it's false.
False. Yeah. Right. Good. Let's see 6. Gabriela, please.
Paul thinks people should try harder to get to know their neighbor. True.
True. Right. Ignacio, please, number 7.
Edwin is a teacher. I think true.
True. Yes. Good. Let's see number 8. Emilio, please.
I don't have it, but Rachel used to live next to some old people.
Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Ignacio, do you remember?
I in the video.
Sorry?
I remember Gemma wants to get know the next door couple live with her.
Yeah, but Rachel is the young woman.
Ah, yeah. No, it's false because Rachel lives next to some younger people. Oh, no? No? No?
So, does anybody know about, does anybody remember this?
No, I don't remember.
Rachel is the overweight girl.
I
She
respond
live
false.
with young people?
Sorry?
Young people?
She
Yeah, I
lives with
remember
young
young people.
Yes, no all.
But be careful. The sentence says Rachel used to live next to some old people. Doesn't live that she lives now, in the past.
I have a question about this one. And when it says next to, that include the the up one neighbor or the downstairs neighbor?
No. Downstairs, no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I am
No, next to is, I mean, no.
by the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I respond false.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, we're going to check it with the script. I think it's true anyway. Well, we're going to check it, I mean, for sure, when reading the script. Before going to, the reading of the script, I would like to know, do you remember, there were 3 questions that were asked. Do you remember the questions they were asked?
The first was if they know their neighbor.
Okay, right. Do you know your neighbors? That is the first one. The second question?
The second,
Sorry.
I don't know, but the third was if they have a bad experience with their neighbor.
Okay, right. Right. Have you had any bad experience with your neighbors? Yeah.
The second one was if they want to be known better their neighbors.
If they want to be closer.
Exactly. If they want to be, they would like to be closer to their neighbors. Yeah, those were the 3 questions. Okay. So I will ask you now to watch the video again for the last time, but this time I want you to read the script at the same time. Okay, let me go to, wait. Let's go first to your cursos again. Material docente. Please download from London transcript. Yes. Neighbors transcript. Okay. So now, could you download it?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
So we're going to read and watch the video.
Welcome to Live from London. Today we're in King's Cross talking to people about their neighbours.
Do you know your neighbours? What are they like?
Yes, there's a couple who live next door who are South African, and I know his name, but it's kind of got past the point where I should have asked what or remembered what her name was. And then I have a guy who lives downstairs from me who's a bit of a nosy neighbour who seems to know everything. And again, I should know his name, and he talks to me a lot, but I don't. And you get caught with him quite a lot. Have long discussions about everything in the building, which I'm not that interested in.
No, I don't really know my neighbours. I just know them to see them when I go past them and they're coming and going. So I have no idea really what they're like.
I know most of them, yeah, and they're normally just like elderly couples and a few young people and students, yeah.
Yeah, I live above like a Danish couple, and they seem nice, but generally speaking in London you don't get to know your neighbours that well, which is a bit of a shame. I know more in like countryside and stuff you have more of a relationship with your neighbours, leave keys with them and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, that seems nice. So I'd like to have that in the future.
Would you like to be closer to your neighbours?
No, not really. I think I'm close enough.
I would probably like to be closer to the couple next door, and there's another couple that live opposite that would probably be quite good to be a bit more friendly with. They're quite sociable next door. Probably not so much the guy downstairs, as he wastes my time.
So yeah, it would be nice to be closer to neighbours, but for some reason in London people are moving house every other week. It doesn't really happen as much, which is a shame.
Overall, probably not, but we should all make more effort to get on with and get to know our neighbours, I suppose, but maybe depending on where you live.
Have you ever had a bad experience with your current neighbours or any from the past?
I can't remember a bad experience with previous neighbours, except actually one house in East London where there was parties going on all the time at 4 in the morning, and I was a teacher, and I needed a good night's sleep, and they were troublesome.
I've had a very small bad experience where I live. It's a communal area, so sometimes post goes missing and things go missing, so that causes some concern between neighbours.
Not really bad. There was an incident where we thought that the guy downstairs had stolen a delivery of a passport because he'd signed for it and then denied it, but then it actually just turned out that was a massive mistake on my ex-boyfriend's part, and it was just with the post office in Sydney.
Not my current neighbours, but in the past there was quite an elderly couple who never went out, and they always knew when we were walking up and down the stairs, which was really strange.
Okay, could you understand it better now? Could you understand it better?
Yes.
Yes. Any questions about it?
I'm still with the question about the last one, true or false?
To live, that one?
That one.
It's true.
It's true?
True, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because
so I thought it could be the down one because the stairs noise. So I have no idea why it could be that the neighbors listen the stairs up or down. So I thought that it could be the down one. So when she go up or downstairs, they listen that.
They could hear that. Yeah, because in an old building.
The word sounds very.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely.
Yeah. No, it's true. Okay. Any other question? I mean, comment about the script?
I think the word elderly was confusing.
Sorry?
The word elderly.
Yeah.
It means old people, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was confusing. Maybe I think I confused with early or.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. I would like to go back to the first part of the. Here, if you go down, I mean, there are some sentences that, I mean, well, if you don't remember them, you can read them from the script. For example, Gemma. She's talking about a neighbor she dislikes. I have a guy who lives downstairs from me who is a bit of a. Do you remember the word?
No.
Anybody? It's
noisy, maybe.
Nosy.
Nosy.
Nosy. I don't know if you know that word. This is supposed to be new vocabulary. Do you know the word nosy?
No. It's like
comes from nose.
Yes.
Right. I mean, people that get into other people's stuff. I mean, they put their noses into, I mean, everywhere. Yes?
Yes.
Intruso, right? A bit of a nosy neighbor. Let's see the second one. Here is a word that you were talking about, Francisca. Rachel. They are normally just like
Elderly.
Elderly means old. Is another word for old. I mean, referring to people only, right? Elderly couples. Yeah. Let's see, Edwin. I was a teacher and I needed a good night's sleep, and they were
troublesome.
Troublesome, right. Troublesome is somebody that causes trouble. Yes?
Yes.
And for example, it's here it's
common
area. So sometimes post goes missing. Did you find the word?
It's a common.
Not exactly common. The idea is that
communal.
Communal area.
Ah.
I don't know if you understand what this means, because I don't think that we have this in Chile, as far as I know. Does anybody know this? It's like a collective house, collective home. I mean, there's a free translation. It's a place where you share the expenses and the kitchen, and you live, I mean, you live in independent rooms, but some areas are in common. For example, the kitchen, for example, the bathroom. Yes, and you share all the expenses, I mean, light, electricity, etc. And you are not the owner of your room. Yes?
Like the gyms or pools on some buildings?
For example.
Okay.
Yeah, but
it's like, sorry, it's like I know some places with the name of pensión. Pensiones.
Yeah. Kind of.
It's a place who go get a bathroom, a kitchen in common, and every person have a room to sleep in there or something like that.
Yeah, but as far as I know, in a pension, you rent the room. I mean,
okay.
you pay a rent. I mean, you pay some amount of money. I mean, but you don't share the expenses of electricity, gas, or something like that. Here you do.
I understand.
Yes?
Yes.
I don't think that in Chile we have this system. I think in Chile we have pensión, we have hostal that is similar to pensión, but there are some similarities, except for the payment of expenses. Yeah, like una casa colectiva, communal area. Yeah, it's also different from because there is another thing that is a condominium that in British people usually call a condo. And that is different because they are normally block of apartments, but there you are the owner of your apartment, and you only share the expenses, as you said, swimming pool or garden, but the apartment is yours. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Communal area are characteristic only in UK or in
Europe, I think.
America too. In Europe.
I'm not sure because I've never been to the States, so I don't know if in the States you have this kind of thing. But in Europe, I think it's quite usual. In England, definitely it is. Actually, I used to live in one of those. Similar to, yeah, similar to Belgium. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see. What I'm going to close this. What about your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, well, you have two. Okay, what are
Yes.
what are your neighbors like, Emilio?
My neighbor's name?
No, I
Or
mean, in general, what are they?
they are very quiet, basically. I don't know. It's very kind to live next to they.
But are they old? Are they young? What do I
Yes,
mean?
they are older than me, and one of them works with me in India. I live in a India houses.
But that's different.
Maybe, but I have to pay the rent,
Yeah.
electricity, water.
No, but I mean, yeah, okay. In that sense, it's the same as if it's, I mean, you rent a house. But the fact that your neighbor works with you, is it, I don't know if it is a problem or if it is an advantage.
No, it is not a problem. I like it.
So do you share a lot?
Do
you share a lot? I mean, you're neighbors and you work together. I mean, you have a lot of things in common, or not?
Yes.
So do you, I don't know, do you invite your neighbors?
No, often.
No?
No, so I maintain the communication for specific issues.
Okay. So from a distance.
Yes.
Not that close. Okay.
Not that close.
And what about the other neighbor?
The other neighbor, she doesn't work at India, but I maintain I don't know the word, pero como una relación cordial.
Okay, so you get on well with her, but yeah, you're not friends, but good neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What about you, Francisca? What about your neighbors? What are they like?
I have several neighbors. I have friendly with them, and sometimes we talk a little bit about things related to the neighborhood or problems in the house or about our pets.
Sorry, do you live in an apartment or in a house?
I live in a house.
Okay.
But I never invite them to my house, or I think one of them, a girl. But I'm friendly with them. I just small talking.
A small what? Sorry.
A small talking.
Yeah.
We do just a small talking.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But when you say you're friendly, you mean that, do you know their names, for example?
Yes, I know their names.
Yeah.
Do you
talk about what you do?
In some cases. but not with all of them. When they ask, I talk about me, but I think it's not very often to ask about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that maybe could be made a little bit nosy.
Nosy. Nose, you know, your nose.
Yes,
Nosy.
nosy.
Okay. Are they your age? Are they older, younger?
Maybe older, but not so much. I think the old close neighborhood is around 30 and 40 years old.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So it's mostly young people.
Yes, and they a few of them have babies.
Sorry, a few of them what?
Have babies or young kids.
Ah, okay. Ah, so they are couples.
Yes, some of them. They're all single people too.
Ah, okay. Yeah. What about you, Pablo?
I have 6 neighbor houses. All of them are families, but one of them is the grandfathers with some of their sons and their grandsons who build another home on the same ¿cómo es terreno?
Land.
In the same land. And we know, o sea, my family knows all of them. I don't know all their names, but my family and I are closer to 3 of them, who with some of them we make some barbecues once a year.
Okay, so you're quite close.
Yes, because we lived on that home. Okay, I live on that home all my life. My father get there 2 years before I born. But one of them was a private teacher when I was a child, around 10 years old. The other one is a familiar friend who get there years before. So we have a close relationship with some of them. The other ones are more little talks, know their names, and when happens something on the neighborhood, we get in touch.
Okay, right. Let's see. So you have been living in that house all your life, huh? All your life. Okay. And your father arrived at that place 2 years before you were born. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Be careful with the verb to be born. Okay. Okay, good. Let's see, Ignacio, what about you? What about your neighbors?
I know several of my neighbors. In some cases, I know the name, or in other cases, I know the nicknames.
Okay. Are they old, young?
Middle ages.
Yeah. Middle age.
Some families, another couples without kids, or in some case, I live in a little street. I don't know how to call that, a pasaje, un pasaje.
Yeah, it's difficult to call that. I mean, it's a small street, let's say.
a small street, and this street is closed in one of the sides.
Sorry,
It's only
again,
one entrance
again,
to
I
the.
couldn't get the last part. This small street, what happens?
This street is closed, that means the only one entrance to the street.
Yeah, you have only one entrance in common. Okay, it's closed. Okay.
I grew up in the place.
Yeah.
And I know several families who move in the street or live.
Yeah.
And I knew several people in my life in this street.
Yeah, they have been changing.
The principally middle-aged families. Okay. with kids, with children.
Okay, middle-aged.
Middle-aged.
Yeah, middle-aged people. Okay, thank you, Ignacio. What about you, Gabriela?
I live in an apartment. It has I don't know how to say, como pisos, flat?
Floors.
Floor?
Ah, sorry, yeah, floors.
Floor?
Yes.
I have lots of neighbors, but I don't know them. They are young people. I think they are payers, the most part of them.
Sorry, they are what?
Young people?
Young people.
Payers? ¿Pueden ser parejas?
Couples.
Couples. I think the most part of them are from Venezuela.
Okay, they are foreigners.
Yes. I talk with them just for WhatsApp when there is a problem in the building, really.
Okay. But do you know the people that live on your floor?
No.
Okay. So no contact with. Okay, you don't know the names. Okay, right. Good. Let's see now. The last question that was. No, sorry. The second question was. Would you like to be closer to your family? To your neighbors, sorry? Or not?
No.
Who said no?
Gabriela.
Why not?
I dislike my neighbor, really. They are very noisy, ruidosos.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not interested to have a relationship with them. Or to be closer, I don't know how to say.
Okay, you are not interested? You're not interested in?
To be closer with them?
Yeah, you're not interested in getting closer to them.
Getting closer.
Getting closer to them. But is it because they are noisy? Is it because they are foreigners? Is it because what?
No, just noisy.
Sorry?
Just noisy.
Just noisy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What about the rest? Emilio, you said something that you were not very interested in getting closer to your, or no? Did I?
No, because since I work with one of them, but getting closer in the security issues, I don't know, ¿cómo decirlo?
What do you mean?
Maybe for emergencies?
Yes. Yeah. I would like to maintain my relationship with them.
Okay, what do you mean by that? I mean, would you like to keep
to maintain like
To keep your
I have
distance.
already.
Okay, not to get closer to.
No, but only in to get closer in a specific issues. I have
Yeah,
the
yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah, maybe. What do
Yeah.
you mean special issues
yeah only in specific
related to work?
related to emergency, like Francisco
Okay.
says.
Yeah,
Emergency, some common or trivial neighbors.
yeah. Okay. So in the other aspect, you're close enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Francisca? Would you like to get closer to your neighbors?
No, I think I'm close enough. I think we have a healthy relationship. I think if I ever need something, they will help me, at least a few of them.
Okay.
And also I tell them that they can trust in me if they need anything, maybe in an emergency or to have the keys or something like that. But I think the distance is healthy too, because if not, maybe they can be a little bit nosy.
Nosy.
Yes, and I have last year I have a problem, not a problem, but it happens something like that with a neighbor who is in front of my house, so he can see me directly. And I was using I don't know the words, but I was moving soil, and he offers to help me. And then he asked me my phone, and in the night he texts me to say, "Oh, your light is on. What are you doing?" So it was very
kind of psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are in pandemic, so we stay home more often than now. And also he yes, and also he told me that he was single now, because her wife left the house, so it was a very awkward moment. And I talked to my parents about that, and so I start to keeping my distance or avoiding him. So that's after that he stopped doing that, likely. And his wife returned to the house, so I was so
You were very happy
for
with
that. Yes.
Okay.
So I think the distance is safer.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, good. What about you, Ignacio? Would you like to be closer? Or do you think you're close enough?
I think I'm close enough. Several years ago, when I'm a child.
When he was a child?
I was a child. Several of my neighbors were my friends, but the life is splitting us, or distancing us.
Yeah, separated. Yeah.
But some of them take the dark side of the force.
Okay. Yeah.
And we are now considered most of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing in common.
we greeting us
Mhm.
and talk about our families in a street conversation. But more than this, no.
Yeah. So you greet each other. You say, hello, hello, how are you? Something like that. Yeah. So you greet each other. Okay. Yeah. So that's enough. You're close enough. I mean, no more contacts. Yeah. What about you, Pablo?
I think we are close enough, or at least for this time. But I think in the future I want to be a little closer with them because my parents want to spend the rest of their lives on that home and make a business with that line. So they will when they get old, I want to have some contact with my neighbors to so if they could help with something or in case of emergency or
Yeah.
in case of anything.
Okay. So your parents want to do some business with the land.
Yes, they want to build a hotel.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So to do business, in English, you do business. Yes. Okay, Pablo. Good. Good. Well, let's see. The last question was if they, have you ever had any bad experience with your neighbors? Have you ever had that bad experience or not? With your current, well, Francisca already said something about that neighbor. Any other bad experience that you can share?
We had one time that one of our neighbors made a big party. No, actually it was a event with concert and
An event.
production company.
Yeah.
And was a pretty loud there. The point that the windows vibrate, we thought some dishes, vajilla, get broken.
Oh, yeah. So it was like an
because
earthquake.
not the noise itself, so the bass and the movement. My home is my house is a wood one, and we have pretty old furniture. So some of the vajilla, no sé decirlo,
dishes
some dishes got broken.
Okay.
And all neighbors some blocks away also who get there and was a pretty big discussion.
Yeah,
so
sure.
no more event or no more concert on
could you talk to them and could you what happened?
Yes, we talk to them. Actually, we know them, and my brothers are close friends from some of their child, so we know the family.
Yeah. Okay, so you could solve it.
Yeah, it got solved.
Okay, right. Any other bad experience with neighbors?
I get some neighbor to get in party, hard party.
Sorry?
I got a neighborhood. Get neighbors get a hard party.
Yeah.
The weekend in the weekend. Pretty low and finish with fighting.
Sorry, I don't understand very well the type of party it was.
Sorry. Yes, my neighbors play the music very loud, and in the finish of the night, getting fighting in the house or in the
Start
street.
fighting. Ooh, that's a bad thing.
And another neighbor called the carabineros,
the police,
and finish the party.
The party finished, or the police finished the party. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but was it? I mean, only once, or is it something usual?
No, it's one house in the street.
One house. Yeah, one house only once. Or...
No,
several times.
Every weekend. Every weekend.
That's another story. Yeah. Yeah. That is a bad point. Yes. Okay. Well, any other experience of this type? No? Okay. Let's see. I would like to, what about having a break now for 15 minutes? And then we return in the next part of our...
Yes.
Sorry? Yeah, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. In the second part of our class, we are going to change the topic drastically, and we are going to talk about the vocabulary related to education, and particularly to first general education, and then education in academic terms for academic students. Yes, I think that it's important perhaps for you to see the vocabulary. Is that right? See you in 15 minutes then. Ready to start, to restart. Okay, so just as I told you, I would like to go on with the next part that is about education. I will ask you to go to your cursos again, material docente. Wait, material docente. Please download Education American English. That's the name, okay? Ready?
Yes.
Okay. In this part of the class, we're going to check some vocabulary that will be used in the oral practice later on. So the first part, the first exercises are related to vocabulary, basically. Okay. The first one is different levels of education in the United States. Okay. Let's see. Here we have 5 different types of schools, and here we have different ages. Let's see how much you can get. I mean, how much matches can you make? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Some seconds for you to do that. Ready?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Let's see. Wait. Okay, let's see high school. What age is that?
I put B.
B.
Yeah.
High school. Yeah, right. High school, this one. Okay, good. Elementary school.
E.
An 8-year-old. Okay. Preschool.
D.
D. Yeah. College.
C.
C.
Right. And middle school.
A.
Obviously, A. Okay, very good. Very good. Any questions or comments about it? No? Okay. Let's go down. We're going to skip. I would like to go to exercise 3, where we have different school phrases. Here we have, the verb, the first part of the sentence, and then the second one. Can you please match them? Ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see number 1, cheat.
C.
C.
Sorry? Cheat?
C.
Let's see. People cheat on tests. Yeah. Let's see number 2.
D.
D. Right. Stayed quiet during class. Right. Study.
B.
B.
B. You study for a test. Yes. Do.
Do
F.
your homework.
Right. Do your homework. Good. Annoy.
The teacher.
E.
Oh yeah. Especially with undergraduates. Annoy the teacher. And pay
Attention.
attention. Any questions about this?
No.
No? Did you feel, that there were some things that you did when you were at school or not? Did you annoy the teacher, for example?
I annoy the teacher, and the rest, I don't do that.
Sorry? You annoy the teacher and?
And the rest of the phrases, I didn't do many of them.
Okay. And did you cheat on tests?
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Anybody? No.
But also I didn't stay quiet.
You didn't stay quiet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had some problems with the discipline in terms of the school understand that? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose so. You were, I mean, no quiet. Okay. Well, here we're going to review the list of adjectives. I mean, I want to know if you know the meaning of that. Hardworking. Is it okay? Hardworking. Yes. What is the opposite of hardworking?
Lazy.
Lazy. Right. Sorry?
No, lazy. I got it.
Lazy is the opposite of hardworking. Yeah. Let's see the second one. Sorry. Clever. The opposite of clever?
Dummy?
Dumb?
Yeah, I think stupid is a bit too much. Yeah, but here, out of the list, yeah. Let's see. Let me go to. Wait a minute. If we, I think the best way to study and to learn, to learn vocabulary is when you associate it with something. Because if you study them by heart, it will be much more difficult. So, okay, we have hardworking. The opposite of hardworking.
Lazy.
Lazy. Yeah. Then we have clever. Do you know any synonym of clever?
Smart.
Smart. Smart. Let's see now. I don't know how to incorporate another, the opposite of this one. Well, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. Let's say the opposite of clever and smart, according to this, would be stupid. That is a bit too much, I think. Yeah. But there is, somebody said another one.
Dummy.
Dull.
Or dumb.
I'm sorry?
Dumb.
Dumb. That one?
D-U-M-B?
That is what you said?
Yes.
But that is not the same. That is, I would say, somebody who cannot speak.
Dummy?
Sorry? Let me check if there is another meaning that I don't know, that maybe, but I...
Like the books? Like math for dumps? Or...
Well, perhaps I'm wrong and there is another meaning that I don't know. Dumb. But it's yeah, that is the one. Yeah. Yeah, in American English, it could be, yeah, informal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew this word. Somebody who cannot speak.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. In that sense, in America, informal American age could be a synonym. Somebody said another one.
Silly.
Sorry?
Silly.
Sorry, I cannot hear you well.
Silly.
Silly? Silly? Silly may be one. I don't know if that was a word. Sorry. Silly. I don't know if that was a word. Okay, let's see the word polite. What is the opposite of polite?
Unpolite.
Impolite. Impolite, right. Do you know any synonym of polite? Synonym, let's say. Does anybody know another one?
I can't think in a synonym for polite.
In some contexts could be well-mannered.
Mm,
Yeah, well-mannered. Somebody that has good manners. So well-mannered person would be similar to polite. And the opposite, impolite, can be badly mannered. Yeah. Okay. Then we have the word creative. Do you know any synonym of creative? Sorry?
Could be imaginative. I don't
Imaginative.
think so.
Yeah. Imaginative, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see the opposite. Anyone? Could be dull. Could be boring. Perhaps. Yeah.
What's the meaning of dull? Or by definition, I think I had different.
Well, there are different
understand.
meanings for dull. Dull can be where something that a person is dull, is boring. Nothing special. But when you say that the weather today, the day is dull, the day is, I mean, it's not sunny, it's not raining either, but it's cloudy and boring. Dull weather. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in general, I would say that it's close, I mean, boring, whichever that means depending on the case, right?
On the for create, the opposite of creative, but in the meaning of imagination or create something new, which could be the opposite.
Yeah, in that case, could be unimagined. Let me find another. I became curious about it. Wait a minute. Ah, come on. Wait, let me go to my Bible. This is my Bible. Creative. Let me find the. Let me find the synonyms. Imaginative, artistic, inventive. There you have inventive, innovative, ingenious. Oh, different ones. Okay.
And an antonym or the opposite?
The opposite?
Or inventive or imaginative?
Let's see, I think it's unimaginative. Yeah, here it is. Unimaginative.
A pretty obvious one.
Yes, unimaginative. Okay. Yeah.
Uncreative, maybe.
Probably. Let me go. Okay. If you find the, I mean, creative is a word. Now here you don't have the word, you don't have the opposites. You have the, let me see. In Spanish and French. No, here you don't have the opposite. Uncreative. Let me see. I think so. Uncreative, you see? Uncreative.
Uncreative.
Opposite. Yes. Okay. Well, where were we? Okay. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because I received a message that. Okay. Then we have the word well-behaved. Well, the opposite of well-behaved should be easy.
Bad behaved.
Badly.
Badly behaved.
Badly behaved. Exactly. Well behaved, badly behaved. Okay. When you were at school, which of these adjectives do you think, either the positive or the negative ones, which ones do you think that best described you when you were at school?
Could I pick 4?
Sorry, number 4?
No, could I pick 4 of them?
Okay.
Clever, creative, loud, and lazy.
Okay, yeah. And okay, right. In what way did you use your creativity? I mean, were you creative?
By answering some questions, projects of the college. I make some classes for younger grades with some teachers, but also I didn't study. I speak on classes.
Classes.
So,
okay, so you were really not very well behaved, but you were clever.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Any other description? Emilio, what about you?
I was kind of lazy, maybe.
Also, lazy, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, lazy basically.
Lazy all the
Lazy,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
At the school, but at the college, I am very hardworking.
Hardworking, yeah. No, you had no choice there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. At the school, I was very lazy, but at the university or high school or at the college, I was
very hardworking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go on with exercise 5. Here we have, these are education phrases, but here we have specific vocabulary, okay? Here you have 2 halves of each sentence. So the idea is to match them, okay? Okay? Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's see number 1. When you graduate from college, you
get a degree.
You get a degree, right? At the end of high school, you
Get a diploma.
Get a diploma.
exactly. You get diploma. You get a diploma. During university education, you
attend lectures.
Study.
You attend lectures, right? What are lectures?
Seminars.
Yeah. Well, it can be seminars. Also, I mean, classes. I mean, in many universities, you talk about lectures, and in Chile we call them classes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be seminars, presentations, classes. Good. Well, sorry, in that sense, in England, for example, teachers working at colleges are called lecturers.
Yeah.
That's why. Let's see number 4. If you want to do well in your classes, you have to
study.
Yeah. If you want to get a degree or diploma, you must
pass the test.
Pass the tests. Yes. Finally, if you want to get a degree, you can't
fail
the test.
Okay. Be careful here, because many students, even those ones that speak quite fluent English, sometimes speaking very fast, and they say to approve the test or to approve the subject. Okay, be careful with that. It's easy to.
I have a little question.
Yes.
But is for the 4th one and the 5th one?
Yeah.
Why it can't be switching the answers? The 4th one be the E, and the 5th one be the F.
Right. Number 4, if you want to do well in your classes, you have to pass the test.
Yes.
Because I don't think so. It's not the same.
Oh.
I think that
it could be if the question were passed, approved your classes, or
pass your subjects.
Okay.
That the question? I don't understand your confusion, actually.
It's about the must, actually.
Well, if you want to get to the, okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, I understand what you mean. If you want to do well in your classes, you have to pass the test. Is that what you mean?
Yes, but that one's make me some noise. Actually, it's the 5th one. Why it can't be the F?
But let's see. The question is, why have to in one case and must in the other?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. Wait a minute. If you want to do well in your classes, you have to, actually you have to study. Yeah, you have a point there, Pablo. Yeah, could be. If you want to, in terms that have to is something that is not, is something that is imposed by an external authority.
Exactly. That's where the noise in my head had, because it isn't a requirement, but when it's a must, it could be a idea. It could be a good choice to do because it's difficult other way.
Yes, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah, because the requirement is to pass, in order to do well, I mean, you have to pass the test anyway. Now, if you want to get a degree or diploma, you must, wait. Actually, I think they should have said you have to anyway, in both cases.
Yeah, but study isn't actually a requirement by itself.
If you want to get a degree, you must study. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is a good thing to do.
Yes.
They cannot, I mean, they cannot, it cannot be, they cannot push you to do it, force you to do it. Yeah.
You get the degree or the diploma if you approve the test.
Yes.
Not if you study, but study helps you to approve the test.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Thank you, Paulo, for the explanation. Yeah, you're right. That's correct.
Thanks, Yumi, because that was some.
Yeah.
I thought I was bad.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. I don't know if the rest of students understood this point or not, but the question is between the difference between have to and must. Have to is something imposed from outside by an external authority. Must is something that you consider good to be done. Do you all understand it or not?
Yes.
Yes? No problem with this? Hello, no problem?
No.
Hablan ahora o callan para siempre. Okay, good. Okay, well, now we're going to get into something more personal, and I would like you to tell me about the what type of school you went to, or schools. I don't know if you went to more than once. Francisca, for example, what type of school did you go to?
For high school, I went to a public school.
Can you describe what kind of school it was? I mean,
it was a big school with boys and girls. The school has 4 levels. I mean, just the high school.
Sorry, what do you mean 4 levels?
1 to 4.
4 grades, you mean?
Yes.
4 grades. So
yes, just for high school.
Yeah.
And was a big school. Yeah, we have well, the number of students for class was 40, I think.
Sorry, how many?
40.
40.
40 or 45 students. And there was 13 or 14 classes for each level. So you have from, for example, the first from letter A to N. Do you follow me? Are you following me? Yes.
From A to
N. And each classes has 40 or 45 students. So we
huge school.
Yes, and so it's a good school. It's a good public school in Rancagua, but also there is known for has very dissimilar students, because you have good classes where all students are thinking about college and get well grades, as my class. we all, I mean, we were 40 and 38 maybe went to college, but you all 38. So 38? A lot of the, yes.
38 so, out of 40?
Yes.
Ah.
So that's a good group, yes, but you also has another kind of students who they were not interested in college, and as there were big groups, they involved in some kind of troubles or fight or drugs issues, because there was a lot of students. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as there were so many students,
yes,
they could not. Teachers could not take care of them. I mean,
no. Because you also have several teachers for the same class, so you have good teachers and bad teachers. For example, for me, as I took the biology, I prefer biology and math. So my teachers of those classes were very good, but the teacher who teach me about history, for example, she didn't care about the class. She let us study for another classes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and other classes, they have, or other group of students, they have better teachers for those subjects. Yes.
Oh, okay, so the thing was that you had good teachers only
for biology and maths and chemistry,
depending on your main
yes,
your
because in the
area of interest.
Yes, in the third grade, we chose according our preference for major.
In English, when you talk about grades, well, up to in the case of I mean, the first grade, you say the first grade, second grade, etc., up to the sixth, yes. Then we have the seventh grade, eighth grade, okay? In British English, that is middle school. And no, sorry. Wait, no, it's not middle school. Wait a second. No, in American English is middle school. If I'm not wrong. Wait. No, sorry. In Britain is middle school, and in the US is junior high school. That's a difference. Yeah. So 7th and 8th would be middle school in British English, and junior high school in American English. Okay. But in both cases, when you go on to, it's the first, I mean, not the first. Primero medio would be you continue with the number, you say the 7th, 8th, the 9th grade. The 9th grade, primero medio, the 10th grade, segundo medio, 10th grade, the 11th grade, tercero medio, and the 12th, cuarto medio. The 12th grade. Okay, so it's okay, right. Good.
And how do you say the letters, the numbers of groups of students of the same grade? For example, here we said, ¿está en primero A o en primero B?
I don't think they have a special name for that, but could be the first grade. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised to see that it also has a letter. I will ask, I have some classes, some colleagues that are American, so I will ask them. Yeah, because I don't know.
Yes, I was trying to explain that.
Oh yeah, I noticed that there are several. I mean, there are several sections for the same level. The same grade has different sections. I will ask them if you have, yeah, same grade, different sections, probably sections. Yeah. Let me check and I will tell you. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, good. Let's see, Emilio, what about you? What type of school did you go to?
My school was out and far of the city. We were 20 students per room. We have 20
students.
20 students per rooms. We have a lot of space of inside and out of rooms. This is because it was an agriculture school.
Yeah, in Arica?
Yeah, technicians located at the Azapa Valley.
Okay, it was a technical school.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you explain what type of, I mean, what subjects?
We have the several materials. ¿Cómo se dice? RAM.
Subjects. Subject.
Yeah, we have the several subjects until 11th degree, tercero medio.
11th grade.
11th grade. After that, we have specific subjects related to agriculture issues. I like that word.
Okay. And what about the teachers there? What were they like? What about the teachers?
English teachers, of course.
Yeah, they do that.
I like them.
Why?
Because I like English, I suppose. But the other subjects too.
Yeah. Were they good teachers, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I continue with my career from the high school, after that at the university, and after that at the master degree, and now in the doctor degree.
PhD program.
PhD. Yeah, I have one question about if it is PhD student or doctor student.
Normally you say PhD student.
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah, the question is there another way to reference doctor student or PhD student?
Estudiante de doctorado?
Sí.
In Britain, the only word I've always heard is PhD students, PhD teacher, PhD, but there is another word that is doctorate.
Yeah.
I have seen that word, but in a written way, not when people talking about it's a doctorate student. I never heard that. I mean, in England,
Or
that is what I know. I don't know in the States. Perhaps.
okay.
Yeah. Pablo, you have a question?
Yes, miss. And it's about the same topic. Is there isn't a figure like candidato doctor or PhD candidate?
Yes.
Or algo así?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Yes. I've heard that. Yes. Sorry about that. I mean, just I during the break, I could watch. I mean, I could listen to some news that according the Ministry of Health decided that the use of masks in open places will be voluntary. I mean, will not be compulsory. Yes, Pablo, you are in the open air, are you?
It's not for now. It's from the April 14.
The 14th of April?
Yes.
In 2 more days. Okay, Pablo, put on your mask.
No, it's in 7 days.
On Sunday, yeah. Well, for me, because it's so difficult to understand. That's why I was telling it's difficult to check the pronunciation and all that with the masks on. Well, here you can do it because you're in the open air, but I have classes, I mean, face-to-face classes, and even though I am very close to them, it's hard for me to, and it's hard for them to understand me also. So it's, okay, thank you, Pablo.
No problem.
Okay.
Also, I speak a little, my voice has a low level when I speak, so
no, but
with the mask.
The mask is more difficult, even in Spanish. Yes, thank you. Okay, Emilio, so you were talking about your school. That school was, when you finished that school, did you get a certificate of, I mean, a technical certificate?
A diploma. Technical certificate. Yeah, technical certificate.
Like, what was that?
Técnico agropecuario en nivel medio. That is the
that's the name of
degree.
Okay.
Agriculture technician. Maybe.
Yeah. Did you have any difficulty to get into university, to enroll, to take the test, the PSU test? No.
No. I took a pre-universitaria.
Okay. Okay.
So it was not very difficult.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Good. Okay, Emilio, thank you. Gabriela, what about you? What about your school? How could you feel the school you went to?
My school was I don't know, a regular school with boys and girls. We were 25 teenagers in a room.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good school, really. I had to learn a lot out of that place, in Preuniversitario too.
Okay.
I don't know what more can I.
I can see that you didn't like that school very much.
No. I was bored. I just was worried about the study, so I don't remember a lot really.
You didn't like studying?
No. I was worried just about the study.
Worried. You were worried about
worried.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you were interested in going to university and all that.
Yes. And it wasn't a good school, so I had to study a lot.
By yourself?
By myself, yes.
Okay, was it very difficult to get updated with the topics?
Yes, the last year of the school was very intensive because I had to learn all.
By yourself and outside.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and the school, was it a public school or a private school?
Was a particular subvencionado in
Okay.
Talagante.
That is, well, it's not, it's similar, sort of subsidized, because subvencionado would be subsidized school. Yeah, it's a subsidized school, partly private, partly government, public. Okay, Gabriela, thank you. Ignacio, what's about your school?
I went to a school located in Naranja. It's called Colegio San Cristian. I was there from the middle school to the high school.
Okay.
Here I graduated when I'm 17. My school was the third best school in the area, but in general it wasn't very good anyway.
Yeah.
Not many students make it get a university from my school.
Yeah.
The
Sorry, there is
not
a problem with the sound, because I can hear you sort of.
Sorry. What about that?
You said that it was not a very good school. Few students go to university.
Not many students go to the university from my school. The school program is not thinking for get a good PSU or PTU.
Yes.
So no many students get a degree later of the school.
Okay, and what did you do to study and to get to university?
It's a good question. I went to April University, and that's it.
Yeah. So I assume you were a good student at school.
I get the support of my family too. No many students of my school have recursos.
Money, actually. Are you talking about money?
money and a place to study.
Yeah.
In my house, I get my own room with my desk, and I can study in my house. I knew some partners in the school who has many brothers and sisters and share the same room for all of them, and that difficult the study anyway.
Yeah, that makes study difficult. Yes.
That makes study difficult.
Okay, so you were, in that sense, you were lucky, but also you must have been hardworking, I suppose.
Yes, I think.
Don't be modest, Ignacio. Don't be so modest. Okay, Ignacio, thank you. What about you, Pablo? What kind of school did you go to?
I did go to 6 to 7 educational institutions.
6 to 7, yeah.
Around, but including preschool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And for elementary school to middle school, I went to two schools. The first one, a private one, from the last year of preschool to second grade. Then I went to a sustained one, and I course third grade on that school. Then I went to another private one, from fourth grade to sixth grade.
But why did you change those schools? Were you expelled from school? Did you move out?
No, I actually lived in the same house all my life, like I said before. But it wasn't a behavioral cause on any of those changes. It was because of monetary reasons.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then from the seventh grade to the end of high school was on a sustained one. And
sorry, what, you mean? What's the name? What do you mean sustained?
Un colegio subvencionado, ¿cómo era?
Subsidized.
Subsidiado. Es que pienso en el sostenedor.
Yeah, but in the end, that is the thing. I mean, subsidized.
Yeah, one.
Subsidized.
And on that school is where I have most of my memories and friends, etc. Yeah. That was a small school with around 14 students per grade. But a long time, the group was growing by grades, and when I was on my last year, I have around 30 students per class. ¿Cómo sería compañero?
Classmates.
I have around 30 classmates.
Okay.
Yeah. Was a pretty good school. But when I got on that school, I stopped writing. So I had only one notebook or
okay, copybook.
Or one copybook for
all the subjects.
Year.
So you were very untidy.
Yes, but I also have the second and sixth grade, also most higher grade of the.
Okay, the highest grades.
The highest.
Okay.
The second highest and or highest.
Okay, so that is your creative and clever attitude.
With the lazy side.
Yes, even though you were lazy. Okay, guys. Good. Thank you, Pablo. Okay, talkie. Well, we have very short time, but now I would like you to work among yourselves. I mean, we have 20 minutes, but it's something that there are many questions related to studies. Let me show you. I mean, let me go to your courses again. Let me see what. Oh, come on. Mistake. Okay. Here we have questions for academic students, okay? Here we have 18 questions, okay? As there are so many, I think perhaps you can work in two groups and choose one question to talk about, to discuss. Yes? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we can work in, wait. How many are you? You are 5. So we can work in 2 groups, 3 and 2, okay? And I will watch you while you are discussing, okay? Of course, please do it in English. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I always say that not to forget it, okay? Okay.
In Spanglish.
Okay, there we have the 2 rooms. Choose one question, at least. Two.
The like this is students, I think. And you, Gabriela?
I live, when I studied, I live far away from the university. I have to travel 3 hours. I mean, in all it was 6 hours.
I understand this is academic students. I think the
Ah,
school student.
in the school,
Ah,
in the is academic. In ¿de qué es esto?
esto es de académico, o sea, es como universitario. I understand student in general.
But is for PhD student or when or just for college student?
I think college student.
A college in general. Ah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I can
because
say
for example, yeah.
no. Tell me.
Eh, I don't know.
In that case, in the college, my problem was the night, evening of the Friday. I study in UTEM, Grecia con Magul. It's a conflict place. The Friday generally take a bus and burn it up, or came the police and confront the students in the calle Las Palmeras.
Due to protesters.
Or getting fire in the McDonald's just in front of the college. Then some of you went to Juan Gómez Milla?
Yes, I know Juan Gómez Millas.
Generally, Friday nights are difficult to return to my home.
So that's a problem.
What about you, Emilio?
Oh, my I don't know what point of the discussion, but I saw the number 3, should all the students wear a uniform? I think no. I will prefer not use uniform when I am a school student. Yeah, sorry. About the 0.5, what do you think about standardized tests? I am disagree about this.
I understood that we have to discuss just one point of, we have to choose one and discuss just about that.
Yes.
Right.
You're right, Gabriela. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. It
Yeah,
was only one question.
Yeah, and about pound 1, what is the hardest thing about being a student in your country? Maybe the social that the social class in Chile define what kind of education you receive. In other words, what's the hardest thing about social economics, or from where you were, that is the education have you received. In other words, the hardest things about begin studying your country, it's being Chilean.
Yes. Fine.
Another thing I consider hard in the for
subjects that aren't available at your school? You want?
Yes, actually, there's available on another faculties, but my faculty is the farthest from the nearest one of all the university.
Mhm.
So it's pretty difficult try to schedule well a course with a number of hours. If you have to consider around an hour of travel to go there, and if you have something later, another hour to
To
get
come back.
back. So
Yes.
that's
Yes, I think that's the problem of the other university.
yes, but also with the pandemic and online classes, I had the possibility to take many of them. I took some pretty fun one. One about public health on medicine. Other one about pop music and the history of pop music. That was pretty interesting and fun. That actually surprised me. When I took it, I have a pretty little expectations about how much I could learn on that subject, and more interested on actually listening music and have a pretty long playlist of iconic songs. But was a pretty well structured and explains the play of music around the different things that was happening on that moment, and explaining why this song has a hit and what implies that song on that time.
That's very interesting.
Yes, and then I took the same, another lesson. Other semester, I take another lesson from the same team of that course that was about anime and manga.
Okay.
And more about
Pop
academia.
and manga. It's a strange mix, or not?
Anime and manga?
No, pop music and manga or anime.
Yes,
no, but if you like BTS, it's okay, or not?
Yes, actually, there was two lessons completely about K-pop and BTS.
Oh no.
But
Okay. We're going to wait for Gabriela and Pablo. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the two groups I think worked quite well. I think that is what impression I had. Let's see the first group, Emilio, Ignacio, and Gabriela. What question did you discuss?
We discussed about the first one.
The first one, can you tell me what the first one was?
What what is the hardest thing about being a student in your country?
Okay. And did you get to an agreement or did you have different opinions?
We were agree in all of points.
You agreed? Yeah?
Yes.
Was a brainstorm
Sorry? A brainstorm?
of ideas.
Yeah?
Most of them.
Sorry, Ignacio, I cannot hear you well. I hear with the delay.
Sorry, I got a poor connection.
Yeah.
We agree in the most of them.
Yeah.
Brainstorming.
You agreed in most ideas. And can you summarize the opinions you got?
The university is far away from she lives.
Yeah.
And I consider that in my case is the same.
Yeah. The long distance between home and university.
Also, we study from conflict places. I study in the UTM and study in Juan Gómez Milla.
Yeah.
It's a very conflicted place. That difficult return to home every Friday night or some random day in the week.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and consider stressing. The college selection test like PSU, prueba de actitud académica, is very stressing time in the student life. Student life.
Student's life.
Student life.
So those were the main aspects you discussed.
And also we discussed about the opportunities in our country related to education, about centralism of our country, the access to the opportunity related to the social economics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gabriela, what more?
No, we discussed about PSU, that it was about method, that it was unfair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But basically you discussed about the inequality.
Inequality in the education in general. We think we took many aspects.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard something like, I mean, your studies depend, or what you can do in what your studies depend on where you come from, where you live, and what your money is. Yeah. Okay, that was the topic we discussed. We're going to, I think this is something we will have to continue next class because we don't have much time and there's a lot to say about it. Good, thank you. Let's see, Francisca and Pablo, what did you discuss?
Which was talk. Yeah, we discussed the question number 4.
That was?
Are there any subjects or classes you wanted to study that aren't or weren't available on your school, college, or university?
Okay. And what did you discuss about it?
The conversation starts on that point and then debate. O sea, And yeah, don't worry. Okay, with that question, I mentioned that I hasn't on my high school chemistry because there weren't a teacher of chemistry. And on the university, I would like to have the opportunity to took lessons about programming or other alternatives, because even if there were the official possibility to, the distance from Antumapu to other faculties make it very difficult, if not say impossible, get a good schedule to take that lessons, because it's 1 hour of traveling to go there, and if I had another lesson here on Antumapu later, it's another hour back to the faculty. And then okay.
Okay, that was one aspect. Another one, Francisca, what else? Can you add something?
We discussed that in high school, there are so many classes of subjects that are focused in the content and not so much in the critical analysis of the content. So sometimes you miss opportunity to debate or talk about the contents, because the school program centers in the content, but not in the application or thinking or pensamiento crítico.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking. Yes. And so for me, at least in high school, I would like to, or I would love to have that opportunity or that kind of subject. And in college, I went to a huge college where the campus has all the faculties in the same place. So you had the opportunity to take several courses or subjects from different faculties. But you didn't have the time for so you, even when you have the possibility or the available, you didn't have the time to take all things that you want to. And Pablo says that the pandemic helps, in this case for him was helpful, because now he could took subjects from different faculties, and as he didn't have to consider the travel time, so it was easy. And he ended taking a pop music subject, taking, and also I'm not very proud of this, but it's Pablo. He also take a manga or anime thing, and he loves BTS. I have to say
that is one of the advantages. One of the advantages of online classes.
Yes.
Yes.
That is
Also, both of those subjects were in English. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Where are the
also
subjects?
I took some amazing subjects like public health, public health, and self-care on the walk.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, very interesting. Well, I took some notes. There are some things that I would like to clear up next class. Some things we need to check. And what do you think about talking about some of the other points? Not all, because there are many, but some of the other points of the list of questions to discuss orally?
No?
No, next class, next week.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Yes, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
guys.
it could be interesting.
Sorry?
It could be interesting.
I hope so.
Yes.
Okay, so let's yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we will finish this next class then. Okay, guys, very good work. Have a nice week.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
See
you.
next
Bye-bye.
Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.